This is Seán McCarthy for RadioIrish.com, and if there's one thing I love to do at Halloween, it's visit an old graveyard. There's nothing quite like a little history and ambience to set the tone and draw the mist to oneself, and in doing so, pay a little respect to the dead. After all, Halloween on the 31st of October each year is the even of All Hallows Day, which is the next day, November the 1st, the evening of All Hallows, Halloween. So off I go to pay a visit to a man who died quite a long time ago, and whose grave I happened to come across in my travels recently on a trip to Hackensack, New Jersey, where stands one of the oldest churches in the United States, the First Dutch Reformed Church in Hackensack, Bergen County, New Jersey. Now, before we visit Casper, who is buried inside, let me tell you something about him. Revolutionary War veteran Casper Westervelt, a private in the New York militia, was born September the 29th, 1728. Casper married Wintia Terhune, who was born in 1737, and they had 4 children, all boys. Wintia was a descendant of Albert Albertson, a French Huguenot immigrant of Dutch ancestry, who was one of the early industry-minded settlers of New Amsterdam, which later became New York. Casper and Wintia's 4 sons were Benjamin Westervelt, born 1757 and died 1784, who died at the age of 27, Derek Westervelt, who died at the age of 49, he was born 1760 and died in 1809, Casparas Westervelt, who lived up until his early 80s, he was born in 1773 and died in 1854, and Peter Westervelt, who lived the longest of all the 4 boys until he was 90, which was quite an age to live in those times. He was born in 1777 and died in 1867. As we head on in now to the graveyard here at the First Dutch Reformed Church in Hackensack, Bergen County, New Jersey, to visit the man himself, Casper Westervelt, who passed away on September the 27th, 1796, to be survived by his wife, Wintia, who died some 24 years later in 1820. Casper and many of his family are here, buried at the old revolutionary graveyard on the grounds of the First Dutch Reformed Church. Casper and Wintia's children are also here in the old graveyard. Sure, look at that. There's Derek himself, one of the sons. And there's Wintia herself, God rest her soul. The Casper Westervelt House is located in Teaneck, Bergen County, New Jersey. The house was built in 1763 and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in January 1983. And you can read all about the Westervelts in a book titled History of Passaic and Its Environs by William Winfield Scott. Indeed, the original Westervelt Thomas Barn, which was relocated from Washington Township to Newbridge Landing, can still be seen today at Newbridge Landing, famous for its original tidal gristmill, which was built on the Hackensack River around 1713 or thereafter. Newbridge was a prosperous mill hamlet centred upon a bridge strategically placed at the narrows of the Hackensack River. In the American Revolution, Newbridge Landing was the site of a pivotal bridge crossing the Hackensack River, where General George Washington led his troops in retreat from British forces. Newbridge was settled by the Bergen Dutch, an agricultural community whose language and culture blended contributions from Dutch, Angolan African, German, English, French, Scotch, and Scandinavian settlers. The area is now a New Jersey historic site And for more on the Westervelt Thomas Barn and Newbridge Landing, you can visit www.bergencountyhistory.org. So, look, to all the Westervelts out there, here's to you, and most especially on the evening of All Hallows Day, I raise my glass to Revolutionary War veteran Casper Westervelt, whose ancestors are still with us in various towns and cities all across the United States of America. And a happy Halloween to each and every one of you. This is Seán McCarthy for Radio Irish.